Have you ever wondered how the ancient Stoics managed to remain calm in the midst of chaos and still turn their challenges into strength? Imagine having the power to control your emotions. Keep your mind calm and use this tranquility as a weapon to achieve your greatest dreams. Today, we're going to reveal the secrets of this ancient philosophy that has not only stood the test of time, but remains a powerful tool for achieving success. Get ready to discover 10 transformative lessons that will change the way you look at life and help you manifest everything you want with discipline and purpose. In this video, you'll learn how the Stoics found strength in serenity and how you can apply these lessons to live a fuller and more fulfilled life. But beware, each lesson is an essential step towards unlocking your potential, and the last one is so impactful that it could turn your mental switch for good. So stay until the end so you don't miss a thing. If you're ready to transform your life, take a deep breath and dive into this journey with us. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel after all. Together, we can explore the teachings of Stoicism even further and apply them to your daily life. Let's get started. The power of the mind. Have you ever noticed how the ancient Stoics managed to maintain their serenity even in the face of the greatest adversity? They understood something that many of us have forgotten. True power lies not in controlling the outside world, but in mastering our own mind. In an age where we are constantly bombarded with stimuli, notifications, and deadlines, our minds rarely find a moment's peace. It's like living in a perpetual storm, trying to see the way while the winds of anxiety and the rains of worry blind us. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus taught us that the mind is like a garden. You reap what you sow. If you sow agitated thoughts, you will reap a life of turbulence. If you cultivate calm and clarity, your reality will reflect that same tranquility. When your mind is in constant turmoil, it's impossible to distinguish the essential from the superfluous. It's like trying to find a needle in a hurricane. But when you calm this inner turmoil, solutions arise naturally, as if they were always there, just waiting to be discovered. The Stoic practice of contemplation teaches us to observe our thoughts without identifying with them. Imagine yourself sitting on the bank of a river, seeing your thoughts as leaves passing by in the current. You don't need to dive in after each one. This simple change of perspective completely transforms our relationship with the mind. We are not our thoughts. We are the ones observing them. This distinction, so fundamental to the Stoics, is revolutionary for those living in the modern hustle and bustle. Epictetus said, "It is not things that disturb us, but the opinions we have of them." When you allow your mind to rest, you begin to realize how many of your worries are just opinions, not facts. That problem that seemed like an insurmountable mountain turns out to be just a small obstacle when seen clearly. A calm mind distinguishes between what it can and cannot control, another fundamental principle of Stoicism. This not only reduces anxiety, but directs your energy towards truly effective actions. The Stoics practiced daily mental exercises to cultivate this clarity. One of them was the premeditation of evils, premeditatio malorum, where they imagined the worst possible scenarios in order to be prepared for any adversity. Paradoxically, this exercise did not increase anxiety, but decreased it, as it removed the element of surprise from life's difficulties. Another exercise was the evening review, where they reviewed the day's events, analyzing what they did well, what they could improve, and how they reacted to situations. These practices created a space for reflection that strengthened the mind. The mental tranquility that the Stoics sought was not passive, but profoundly active. It wasn't a question of running away from reality, but of facing it with lucidity. Seneca compared the serene mind to a calm sea, where even in the depths there is movement, but the surface remains undisturbed. This is true strength, not the absence of challenges, but the ability to maintain clarity in the midst of them. When your mind is at peace, your decisions flow from wisdom, not fear or impulsiveness. To apply these Stoic principles today, start by dedicating a few minutes a day to mental stillness. You don't need to meditate for hours. Even 5 minutes of conscious attention to your breathing can create this space of clarity. Observe your thoughts without judgment, like a curious scientist studying an interesting phenomenon. Practice distinguishing between what you can and cannot control. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not over external events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you cultivate this practice on a daily basis, your mind stops being an unruly merry-go-round and becomes a powerful ally on the journey to a full and meaningful life. Flow and let go. Have you ever found yourself trying to control every aspect of your life, as if you were a conductor trying to conduct a chaotic orchestra? Welcome to the club of control freaks. But what if I told you there was a more serene way to navigate the turbulent waters of existence? Stoicism, an ancient but surprisingly current philosophy, teaches us a valuable lesson. Total control is an illusion, and the sooner we accept this, the lighter we will become. Imagine life as a flowing river. Many of us spend our days trying to swim against the current, exhausted and frustrated. Stoicism suggests a different approach. Instead of fighting the flow, why not learn to navigate with it? This doesn't mean being passive or giving up on your dreams. On the contrary, it's about recognizing where your effort is most effective and where it's simply a waste of energy. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, understood that life is unpredictable. They compared our journey to a sea voyage. The captain can't control the winds or the waves, but he can adjust the sails and the rudder. In the same way, we can't control the external events in our lives, but we can choose how we react to them. It is in this choice that our true power lies. Letting go of control is not an act of weakness, but of wisdom. It's like learning to dance. At first, you try to control every move, counting the steps in your head. But the real grace comes when you allow yourself to flow with the music, trusting your body and the rhythm. In life, this dance translates into trusting the process, even when we can't see the next step. Stoicism teaches us that inner peace doesn't come from controlling the world around us, but from cultivating virtue and wisdom within us. When we become too attached to control, we create rigid expectations that will inevitably be frustrated. By letting go, we make room for serenity and adaptability. It's like holding sand. The harder you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. When we open our hands, it stays. Practicing letting go doesn't mean abandoning responsibilities or goals. It's more like a gardener who plants the seeds, takes care of the soil, but understands that he can't force the flowers to bloom. He does his part and trusts in the natural process. In the same way, we do our best. We set clear intentions, but we remain open to the unexpected paths that life can take. The Stoics remind us that the only thing truly under our control is our own actions and reactions. Everything else, the behavior of others, external events, even the results of our efforts, is beyond our direct control. By focusing our energy on what we can influence and accepting with grace what we can't, we find a balance that allows us to navigate life more smoothly and effectively. Remember, life is a journey, not a destination. Stoicism invites us to embrace this journey with all its unexpected turns, ups and downs. By flowing with circumstances rather than resisting them, we not only reduce our suffering, but also open ourselves up to the opportunities and beauties that can arise from the most unexpected moments. Gratitude, the key to manifesting desires. When ancient Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca spoke about the art of living well, they understood a deep secret that many of us have forgotten. Gratitude is not just a passing feeling, but a transformative practice that shapes our reality. Think about it. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with messages about what we lack, stopping to recognize what we already have is almost a revolutionary act. Gratitude works like a special lens that adjusts our vision, allowing us to see the abundance that already exists in our lives, instead of obsessing over what we haven't yet achieved. The Stoics practiced gratitude not as a manifestation technique, but as a daily exercise in wisdom. They understood that our minds naturally lean towards the negative. We notice more easily what has gone wrong, the criticism we have received, the opportunity we have missed. It's as if our brain has a magnet for problems. But when we consciously practice gratitude, we begin to reprogram this tendency. It's like training a muscle that over time becomes stronger and permanently transforms our perspective. When you start the day by recognizing the blessings you already have, from the simplicity of being able to breathe to the meaningful relationships in your life, you establish a mental state of abundance that naturally attracts more of the same. Stoic philosophy teaches us that gratitude is not just about feeling good momentarily, but about developing a clearer vision of reality. When you are truly grateful, you realize that many of the things we take for granted are actually extraordinary gifts. The simple fact of being alive, of being healthy enough to read these words, of having access to knowledge, all of this represents a wealth that many do not possess. This awareness frees us from constant dissatisfaction and puts us in a state of receptivity. It's as if gratitude opens the floodgates of abundance, allowing more blessings to flow into our lives. Imagine your mind as a garden and your thoughts as seeds. Gratitude is like the water that nourishes the positive seeds, allowing them to flourish and bear fruit. When you regularly water your mental garden with thoughts of gratitude, the flowers of abundance naturally begin to sprout. On the other hand, when you constantly focus on what is lacking, you are essentially watering the weeds of scarcity, which quickly take over your mental garden. The Stoics understood this dynamic deeply. They knew that the secret to a fulfilling life lay not in accumulating more, but in deeply appreciating what you already have. As Epictetus taught, he who knows how to be content with what he has already possesses the whole world. The practice of Stoic gratitude goes beyond simply listing good things in a diary. It involves finding value even in adversity, a skill the Stoics mastered. When we face challenges, our natural tendency is to complain and resist. But the Stoics teach us to ask, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? This form of transformative gratitude allows us to find purpose even in suffering. When you give thanks not only for obvious blessings, but also for the difficulties that have shaped you, you develop extraordinary resilience. It's like turning stumbling blocks into stepping stones for your growth. Another fascinating aspect of Stoic gratitude is its power to connect us with the present. Often we are so worried about the future or stuck in the past that we miss out on the only moment we really have, the now. Gratitude anchors us in the present, allowing us to experience it fully. When you stop to give thanks for the sunset you're witnessing, the conversation you're having, the taste of the food you're enjoying, you become completely present. And it is in this state of full presence that manifestation occurs most naturally. It's no coincidence that the masters of manifestation always emphasize the importance of feeling gratitude, as if your wish had already come true. This practice aligns your energy with the vibration of what you wish to attract. Gratitude also has a powerful effect on our relationships. The Stoics understood that no man is an island. We are all interdependent. When we express gratitude to others, we strengthen the ties that bind us. This creates a support network that naturally expands our opportunities. Think about it. When you express sincere appreciation to a coworker, a family member, or even a stranger who has provided you with a small service, you not only enrich that person's life, you also create a positive connection that can unfold into new possibilities. Gratitude is like a social currency which, when invested generously, returns multiplied in the form of opportunities, support, and abundance. Finally, gratitude frees us from the tyranny of insatiable desires. The Stoics observed that the more we have, the more we want, a phenomenon that modern psychologists call hedonic adaptation. We are constantly moving the finish line, never allowing ourselves to experience true satisfaction. Gratitude breaks this vicious cycle. When you cultivate the habit of being grateful for what you already have, you discover that you already have enough. This doesn't mean that you should abandon your dreams and ambitions, but rather that you can pursue them from a place of fullness, not lack. And paradoxically, it is precisely when we free ourselves from the desperate need to have more that we become magnets for abundance. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, it is not by having what you want that you are grateful, but by being grateful that you have what you want. The law of attraction in action. Many confuse the law of attraction with some kind of mystical trick or magic formula to get everything they want without effort. But the ancient Stoics, even without using this specific term, already understood something profound. Our mind shapes our reality through our actions. When Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Our life is what our thoughts make of it," he wasn't suggesting that just thinking about wealth was enough for gold coins to fall from the sky. He was pointing to something much deeper. The way we perceive the world determines how we act in it, and our actions determine the results we get. The true essence of the law of attraction, when viewed through the lens of Stoicism, lies not in simply visualizing what we want, but in embodying the qualities necessary to achieve it. If you want to be a great musician, it's not enough to imagine yourself playing to crowds. You need to act like a dedicated musician today, practicing daily, seeking knowledge, facing difficulties with perseverance. The Stoics understood that our external actions are a reflection of our internal convictions. When you act with the inner certainty that you are already the person you want to become, you naturally make decisions in line with that identity. The power of this approach lies in transforming your mental state. When you adopt the mindset of someone who has already achieved what they want, your perception expands. Suddenly, you begin to notice opportunities that have always been there, but which you couldn't see before because your mind was programmed to see only obstacles. It's like wearing the right prescription glasses after years of seeing the world in a blur. Opportunities don't magically appear. They already existed, but now you're mentally prepared to recognize and take advantage of them. Unlike what many people preach about the law of attraction, the Stoics didn't believe that the universe would conspire in their favor just because of their positive thoughts. They understood that the world is indifferent to our desires. Real change comes when we align our actions with our thoughts. Epictetus taught that we should focus only on what is within our control, our perceptions, decisions, and actions. The rest, including external results, we should accept with serenity. This is true wisdom, to act as if we already have what we want, but without desperate attachment to the results. The Stoic practice of the law of attraction involves a daily discipline of aligning thought and action. Start each morning by visualizing not only what you want to achieve, but the person you need to become to deserve that result. Then act consistently like that person throughout the day. If you want financial prosperity, adopt the habits of a prosperous person. Study up on investments, control your spending, look for growth opportunities. If you want health, behave like a healthy person. Eat well, exercise, prioritize quality, sleep. It's not pretense, it's a process of genuine transformation. The beauty of this Stoic approach to the law of attraction lies in its honesty and effectiveness. It doesn't promise instant results or magical solutions, but it does offer a proven path to real transformation. When you act with the inner certainty that you are already the person you want to become, you create a bridge between your current self and your future self. Every action in line with this vision is a step on that bridge. Over time, the distance between who you are and who you want to be diminishes until one day you realize that the transformation is complete. Not because the universe has conspired in your favor, but because you, through the discipline of aligning thoughts and actions, have become worthy of what you sought. As Seneca would say, fortune favors the prepared mind. And there is no more powerful preparation than living today as if your dreams were already a reality. Mindfulness, a forgotten superpower. In an age where we are constantly bombarded with notifications, deadlines, and responsibilities, our minds rarely find a moment of true stillness. The ancient Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, already understood what modern science confirms today. The ability to consciously direct our attention to the present moment is one of the most powerful skills we can develop. They called it prososh, a constant vigilance over our thoughts and actions. It's not just about relaxing, but cultivating a mental clarity that allows us to see reality as it really is, without the distortions of our future worries or past regrets. When we practice mindfulness, we create a space between the stimulus and our response. In this space lies our power of choice, a fundamental principle of Stoicism. Imagine being in an important meeting and instead of getting lost in thoughts about what you're going to say next or judging the opinions of others, you manage to be completely present, absorbing every word and nuance. This presence not only improves your understanding, but also allows you to identify opportunities and connections that would normally go unnoticed when your mind is divided between the past and the future. The Stoics practiced daily exercises to strengthen this mindfulness. One was morning contemplation, where they spent time visualizing the challenges of the day and preparing their minds to face them with serenity. Another was the afternoon review, reviewing the day's actions and reflecting on how they could have responded more wisely. These practices created a virtuous cycle of self-awareness and continuous improvement. Today, we can adapt these techniques to our modern lives. Even 5 minutes of mindful breathing in the morning can anchor your mind in the present and set the tone for the whole day. The practice of mindfulness also helps us distinguish between what we can and cannot control, another central pillar of Stoicism. When we are truly present, we clearly realize that we cannot control external events, only our responses to them. This understanding frees us from constant anxiety about things that are beyond our power. Instead of wasting mental energy worrying about possible negative outcomes, the mindful person directs their resources towards effective actions in the present moment, significantly increasing their effectiveness and productivity. Interestingly, by cultivating mindfulness, we also develop our ability to perceive beauty and meaning in everyday experiences. The Stoics understood that happiness does not come from constantly seeking new experiences or possessions, but from deeply appreciating what we already have. When we eat with mindfulness, we savor each bite as if it were the first time. When we walk mindfully, we notice details in the landscape that we would normally ignore. This ability to find richness in simplicity not only increases our satisfaction with life, but also makes us less vulnerable to the external pressures and artificial desires that often divert us from the path of tranquility. The power of sleep. The ancient Stoics understood something that modern science has only recently confirmed. The moments before falling asleep are a powerful opportunity to program your subconscious mind. As the world quiets down and distractions diminish, a unique portal emerges to connect your conscious intentions with the invisible work your mind will carry out during the hours of rest. This is not a mystical concept, but a natural process by which your brain processes, organizes, and integrates the day's experiences and thoughts. When you deliberately take advantage of those precious minutes before sleep to visualize your deepest goals and desires, you are essentially planting seeds that will germinate while you rest. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the mind, like a garden, produces what is planted in it. If you go to bed with thoughts of worry, anxiety, or frustration, your subconscious will work on these emotions during the night, often resulting in restless sleep and a heavy awakening. On the other hand, when you create a nightly ritual of positive, intentional visualization, you provide your brain with a constructive roadmap to follow. This ritual doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be as simple as 5 minutes of conscious breathing followed by a clear visualization of your goals. Imagine yourself having already achieved what you want, experiencing not only the images, but also the emotions associated with success. Feel the gratitude, joy, and fulfillment as if they were already yours. During deep sleep, especially in the REM phases, your brain goes through a fascinating process of memory consolidation and problem solving. Studies show that the sleeping brain keeps working on challenges and integrating new information, often coming up with creative solutions that escape the conscious mind. The Stoics, even without the neuroscientific knowledge we have today, intuitively understood this phenomenon. Marcus Aurelius practiced nocturnal reflection, preparing his mind for the work it would do during sleep. He knew that the final thoughts before falling asleep had a special power to influence not only the quality of sleep, but also the mental state on waking. The Stoic practice of preparing for sleep also involves letting go of the worries of the day. Epictetus taught that we must distinguish between what is and what is not under our control. Before going to sleep, make a brief review of your day, accepting what has passed and cannot be changed. Let go of the weight of past events and future worries, creating a clean mental space so that your positive visualizations can flourish. This act of letting go is essential for transforming sleep from a simple period of physical rest into a powerful tool for personal transformation. Breathe deeply, relax each part of your body sequentially, and feel the tension dissipating as your mind prepares for the night's work. Consistency is key in this practice. The Stoics valued discipline and routine as paths to virtue and inner peace. Establish a regular bedtime and turn your last conscious moments into a sacred ritual of visualization. Over time, your subconscious mind will begin to recognize this ritual as a signal to begin its work of alignment and manifestation. It's like training a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger the connection between your conscious intentions and subconscious processing becomes. Many people find that, after a few weeks of this practice, they begin to notice synchronicities in their daytime lives, as if the universe is responding to the intentions planted during sleep. The true power of sleep goes far beyond physical rest. It's an opportunity to reprogram your mind and align your inner being with your highest goals. When you consciously take advantage of those moments before falling asleep, to visualize with clarity and emotion the life you want to create, you establish a powerful partnership with your subconscious. During your hours of sleep, while your body rests, your mind continues to work, processing these visualizations and looking for ways to make them a reality. It's like having a team working tirelessly behind the scenes, preparing the ground for your conscious actions the next day. When you wake up, You'll often find new ideas, inspiration, and a renewed clarity about the steps needed to turn your visualizations into reality. This cycle of nighttime visualization and daytime action creates powerful momentum towards the manifestation of your deepest dreams. Powerful mornings. When the sun rises, it offers more than just light. It presents an opportunity to shape your entire day. Mornings are truly like blank canvases, waiting for you to apply the colors that will set the tone for the coming hours. The ancient Stoics already understood the transformative power of the first hours of the day. Marcus Aurelius, for example, dedicated his first moments of consciousness to preparing his mind for the challenges ahead, setting clear intentions that would guide his decisions. Modern science confirms what the Stoics envisioned. How you start your day has a profound impact on your productivity, well-being, and mental clarity. Studies show that cortisol levels are naturally higher in the first few hours after waking up, making your mind more alert and receptive. Taking advantage of this natural state of readiness can completely transform your daily experience. Starting the day with intention means waking up with purpose, not just reacting to the alarm clock. Before you even set foot on the ground, take a few moments to visualize your goals. It's not just about thinking about your to-do list, but connecting with your bigger vision. Like a captain who consults his map before sailing, this practice guides your actions towards what really matters, preventing you from being carried away by the current of other people's urgencies. Morning gratitude acts as a powerful emotional anchor. When you start the day by recognizing what you already have, from the simplicity of a new dawn to the meaningful relationships in your life, you establish a mental state of abundance that naturally attracts more of the same. This Stoic practice of appreciating the present rather than constantly yearning for the future creates a solid foundation for wiser decisions and a more balanced perspective. Physical movement in the morning is not only beneficial for your body, but essential for your mind. It doesn't have to be an intense hour-long workout. Even 5 minutes of stretching, a short walk outside, or some deep breathing exercises are enough to wake up your system, increase circulation, and release endorphins. This physical awakening signals to your brain that it's time to take action, creating a state of readiness and clarity. The beauty of a powerful morning routine lies in its simplicity. It's not about filling your mornings with dozens of activities, but consciously choosing a few meaningful practices that align your body, mind, and spirit. Even something as simple as watching the sky for a few minutes, feeling the breeze on your face as you breathe deeply, can anchor you in the present and open up space for valuable insights that would normally go unnoticed in the rush of the day. Successful leaders in many fields recognize the power of mornings. Howard Schultz, CEO of Starbucks, gets up at 4:30 to walk his dogs and exercise. Richard Branson and Barack Obama prioritize morning exercise. Tim Ferriss, after interviewing hundreds of high performers, discovered that many start their day with the simple act of making the bed, a small gesture that creates an immediate sense of accomplishment and order. When establishing your own morning routine, remember, the goal is not to copy exactly what others do, but to discover what resonates with you and your deepest values. Try out different practices, observe how they affect your day, and adjust as necessary. Over time, you'll find that your mornings are not just the start of your day, but the foundation on which you build a more purposeful, productive, and meaningful life. Visualize and create. Creative visualization is not just a passing mental exercise, but a transformative practice that directly connects your deepest thoughts with the reality you wish to manifest. The ancient Stoics, although they didn't use this specific term, understood the power of the mind to shape our experience of life. While they practiced premeditatio malorum, negative visualization, to prepare for adversity, we can apply similar principles in reverse, using positive visualization as a manifestation tool. When you sit down in a quiet place, close your eyes and start imagining your desires in vivid detail, you are essentially creating a mental model that your subconscious comes to recognize as possible. It's like building an architectural plan before you erect the building. You need to see clearly what you want to create before you can manifest it in the physical world. This practice is not mere fantasy. It is a deliberate exercise in mental programming that aligns your future actions with your vision. The effectiveness of creative visualization is directly related to the clarity and detail of the images you create. It's not enough to vaguely imagine what you want. You need to feel the associated emotions, hear the sounds, perceive the smells and textures as if you were already living that reality. When Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Our life is what our thoughts make of it," he was pointing to this fundamental truth. The mind doesn't completely distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. To practice creative visualization, effectively find a time of day when you can be completely present, free of distractions. This could be right when you wake up, when your mind is still receptive, or right before bed, when the barriers between the conscious and subconscious are more permeable. Sit comfortably, take a few deep breaths to calm your mind, and then start building your vision, layer by layer, like a meticulous artist painting a canvas. Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of mental discipline and consistent practice. In the same way, creative visualization is not a one-off event, but a habit to be cultivated daily. Just as an athlete trains his body repeatedly to develop strength and skill, you must train your mind to stay focused on your vision, even when current reality seems to contradict it. This mental persistence is what eventually creates a bridge between the world of thoughts and the physical world. Contrary to what many people think, creative visualization is not a form of escapism or denial of reality. It's actually a form of active preparation for the future you want to create. The Stoics valued acceptance of present reality, but they also understood that our actions today shape our tomorrow. When you clearly visualize your goals, you are essentially training your mind to recognize and seize opportunities that would otherwise go unnoticed, aligning your daily actions with your long-term vision. Remember, visualization without action is just a dream. The real power of this practice lies in how it inspires and guides your actions in the real world. When you visualize regularly, you begin to notice subtle changes in your behavior, your choices, and your perception. You naturally move in the direction of your vision, not by magic or coincidence, but because your mind has been programmed to recognize and create paths that it couldn't see before. As Epictetus would say, first, tell yourself what you want to be, then do what you have to do. Conscious breathing. Have you ever found yourself in a whirlwind of thoughts, as if your mind were a television with hundreds of channels on simultaneously? In our fast-paced world, where we are constantly bombarded with information, worries, and responsibilities, our breathing, this process so fundamental to life, ends up going unnoticed. However, the ancient Stoics already understood what science confirms today. Conscious breathing is one of the most powerful and accessible tools for transforming our state of mind. Stoic philosophy teaches us that although we cannot control external events, we have complete control over our responses to them. Conscious breathing serves as a bridge between the chaotic outer world and our inner world. When you breathe consciously, you create a space between the stimulus and your reaction, a precious moment of choice that can determine whether you will be swept away by the emotional storm or remain centered like a rock amidst the waves. Each inhalation is an opportunity to bring clarity to your mind. Imagine that you are breathing in not only oxygen, but also lucidity and discernment. As you inhale deeply through your nose, Visualize this vital energy filling first your abdomen, then your chest, until it reaches the top of your head. This simple act of awareness transforms an automatic function into a powerful tool of presence. The Stoics practice similar exercises to keep the mind alert and receptive, even in challenging situations. Exhalation, on the other hand, represents liberation. As you slowly release the air through your mouth, imagine yourself releasing all unnecessary worries, negative thoughts, and accumulated tensions. It's like clearing a blackboard full of complex calculations, making room for new ideas and perceptions. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, practiced something similar when he wrote about the importance of letting go of what we cannot control. And conscious breathing is a physical manifestation of this philosophical principle. The beauty of this technique lies in its simplicity and availability. You don't need special equipment, years of training, or specific conditions to practice it. Your breath is always with you, ready to be used as an anchor for the present moment. When you feel anxiety growing, when doubts begin to invade your mind, or when stress seems unbearable, stop for a moment. Take 3 deep breaths, concentrating only on the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. This short break may be enough to interrupt the cycle of negative thoughts and give control back to the rational part of your mind. To incorporate conscious breathing into your daily routine, start with small moments of practice. When you wake up, before you pick up your cell phone, breathe deeply for a few minutes. During the day, set reminders, whether it's when you look at your watch, receive a notification, or before meals, to pause and breathe consciously. Before bed, take a few minutes to calm your mind through breathing, preparing for a restful sleep. This consistency will transform a simple technique into a powerful habit that will strengthen your mental resilience. Conscious breathing is not just a tool for moments of crisis. It is a practice that, when cultivated regularly, fundamentally transforms our relationship with life. The Stoics sought tranquility of mind, ataraxia, as a constant state, not just as a temporary refuge. In the same way, by practicing conscious breathing on a daily basis, you're not just learning to deal with stress, you're cultivating a clearer, more stable and receptive mind. It's like strengthening a muscle. Each conscious breath makes your mind better able to maintain serenity even when external circumstances invite chaos. Silence, the gateway to universal connection. In our modern world, where constant noise has become the norm, finding moments of genuine silence has become an almost revolutionary act. With every notification, every call, every background noise, we move a little further away from our inner voice, the one that knows our true desires and needs. The ancient Stoics deeply understood the transformative power of silence, seeing it not as the absence of sound, but as the presence of clarity. Silence is not just a temporary refuge from external chaos. It is a portal to a deeper connection with ourselves and the universe. When you allow yourself moments of complete stillness, your mind finally has space to process, integrate, and understand. It's like wiping the slate clean of confusing notes, creating space for new ideas to emerge with crystal clarity. Modern science confirms what the Stoics already sensed. Silence is essential for the brain's restorative process. During moments of stillness, your brain enters a default mode, which, contrary to what you might think, is more active than the task-oriented mode. In this state, your brain works to unite the internal and external, helping you to understand your place in the world. Silence is not empty of information. It is recognized by the brain as a valuable input that promotes cellular development in the areas responsible for forming sensory memory. When you set aside daily moments for silence, you create a sacred space where you can listen to your own inner voice without interference. This practice doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as sitting in silence for 5 minutes before starting your day, going for a walk without headphones, or completely disconnecting from technology for an hour. These small breaks in the constant flow of information allow you to reconnect with your deepest values and align your actions with your true desires. In silence, you find not only mental clarity, but also emotional strength. The regular practice of silence develops resilience, allowing you to face life's challenges with more equanimity. When you get used to being in silence, you learn to observe your thoughts without completely identifying with them, an essential skill for maintaining serenity in turbulent times. Silence also nurtures your creativity and intuition. When your mind isn't constantly processing external stimuli, it opens up space for deep insights and innovative solutions. Many of the greatest human ideas and achievements have arisen not from moments of intense activity, but from periods of silent contemplation. It is in silence that your mind can make unexpected connections and perceive patterns that previously went unnoticed. To incorporate more silence into your life, start by creating a dedicated space in your home, a sanctuary where you can retreat regularly for moments of stillness. Set clear boundaries with the people around you, explaining the importance of this time for your well-being. Treat these moments of silence as important appointments, marking them in your calendar and honoring them as you would any crucial meeting. Remember, silence is not just the absence of external noise, but the presence of a deep connection with yourself. It is in this space of stillness that you find the wisdom you need to align your thoughts and actions with your greatest desires. In a world that constantly values expression and communication, giving yourself permission to simply be and listen can be the most revolutionary and potentially life-changing act you can perform. We have reached the end of our journey through the Stoic principles that can transform your life. Remember, true power lies not in controlling the world around you, but in mastering your own mind. When you cultivate inner serenity, learn to flow with circumstances, practice gratitude, and apply the law of attraction with concrete actions, you create an unshakable foundation for manifesting your deepest desires. Mindfulness, the power of sleep, intentional mornings, creative visualization, conscious breathing, and moments of silence are not just pretty concepts. They are practical tools that the ancient Stoics already knew and that modern science confirms are effective. Don't wait for the perfect moment or for someone's permission. Start living right now as if you've already achieved everything you want. Believe in your potential and see how the universe begins to conspire in your favor. After all, when you fully believe, you create unlimited possibilities for yourself. If this knowledge has touched your heart, share it with someone who also needs to hear these words. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave a comment on which of these Stoic lessons you will apply first in your life. Remember, wisdom is only valuable when put into practice. Until our next meeting, keep your mind calm and your purpose clear.